so I think we should go to your place and talk about this.
We go to my place. I'm gonna make out with you.
Okay.
An NFL Hall of Famer plays a secret gay lover in a scene Disney never told audiences existed. The bass player has no name in the entire film on purpose, and the actor who played him caught dysentery from giving an iguana mouth-to-mouth and ruined his costume on camera. This is the movie Tom Hanks wrote in hotel rooms during the Forrest Gump Oscar tour. Just to have something in his head that wasn't awards season, it flopped in theaters. Then VH1 played it for 24 hours straight, and it became one of the most beloved cult films of the 90s. 20 facts about That Thing You Do. Let's get into it. Like and subscribe if you're new here, it really helps.
That's a live shot on nationwide TV. I came by to tell you personally.
Hollywood Showcase!
Number 20. Tom Hanks started this screenplay while filming in South Carolina, banging out an 11-page draft he later said he blew right through. Then Forrest Gump wrapped and he walked straight into an Oscar campaign promoting Philadelphia during awards season, then 6 straight months of Forrest Gump interviews. Most people would take a break. Hanks used every spare hotel room and flight to keep writing. His reasoning was specific. I wanted to be carrying something in my head completely void of anything about the Oscar race or box office. He showed early drafts to Nora Ephron, who didn't hold back. She told him it had too much going on, joking it was like Scorsese run amok. Hanks has admitted the early versions were genuinely messy. But the grinding monotony of a months-long press tour gave him exactly the runway he needed to finish it. The script for his directorial debut was assembled almost entirely in the gaps between Oscar campaign obligations for one of the biggest films of his career. Number 9.
Marionettes, that's what they are.
What can I help you with today, gentlemen?
We have a big proposition for you, guy. You still playing percussion?
I told you he was, didn't I?
Number 19. Finding the title song meant running an open contest, and over 300 tracks came in. The winner was Adam Schlesinger, a 28-year-old bass player whose own band, Fountains of Wayne, wasn't famous yet. His publishers told him there was a chance to write a Beatles-style hit for a Tom Hanks movie exactly his specialty, and he treated it as a personal exercise, working through 3 different versions before recording a demo with Mike Viola, who ended up singing lead vocals on the final track. When producers played the finalist songs back-to-back, the entries ranged wildly, some channeling The Who, others Led Zeppelin. Then Schlesinger's song came on. Actor Ethan Embry has said he still smacks his hands together remembering how electric that moment felt. The song went on to earn Academy Award and Golden Globe nominations. Schlesinger died of COVID, 19 complications on the 1st of April 2020, at 52 years old, leaving behind a song that outlived the contest it was written to win.
Dad?
Number 8.
Harriet Priestley just called your mama. Her husband drove by the store and said the lights were still on. What are the lights still doing on?
Number 18. Tom Everett Scott nearly lost the lead role in Tom Hanks' own directorial debut for an unusual reason. He looked too much like a young Tom Hanks. Hanks worried it would distract audiences from the story, rather than serve it. Rita Wilson watched Scott's audition tape and disagreed completely, telling her husband flatly, "This guy is the guy. Why wouldn't you cast him?" Her conviction changed his mind. Scott had grown up watching Hanks and Bosom Buddies, and during his audition he told Hanks directly that the character felt personal. "This character was paralleling me, but in music instead of acting." That sincerity stuck. Hanks ended up calling him personally to offer the part, and Scott has called it one of the coolest moments of his life. The film's lead actor was nearly cut for resembling the director too closely.
What about the tempos, tempos?
Not the tempos. Tempos. I was in a band already called the Tempos. We were terrible.
Number 17. Charlize Theron's path to Hollywood started with a meltdown. In 1994, 18 years old, her dancing career already ended by knee injuries. She was in a Los Angeles bank trying to cash a check from her South African account. The teller refused to help her. She lost her temper. Standing behind her in line was talent manager John Crosby, the same man who had once discovered Rene Russo at a Rolling Stones concert, and he handed her his card on the spot, telling her he didn't know what she did, but if she was interested in acting, to call him. By 1996, she was auditioning for That Thing You Do and caught Tom Hanks' full attention. After watching her audition, he reportedly said, "She's got it." He went further and wrote a personal note inside her copy of the script. "No matter what, I will always claim to have discovered you." 7 years later, Theron won the Academy Award for Best Actress for Monster, and Hanks had the paper trail to prove he'd called it first.
Hey, she's with us. She's with the Wonders. She's our lawyer.
All right, Mr. Big Shot. Just whatever. If she spills it, it ain't her butt in a ringer.
Number 16. Of the four actors playing the band, only Steve Zahn and Ethan Embry had any prior musical background, basic guitar and bass from their teenage years. Tom Everett Scott had never touched a drum kit in his life. Jonathan Shake didn't know how to play guitar at all. The fix was 6 weeks of band camp, 5 hours a day, drilling the same songs over and over until the muscle memory became real. It worked well enough that extras on set genuinely believed they were watching the band play live. In reality, every performance was mimed to pre-recorded tracks by professional session musicians. Scott in particular impressed everyone by nailing every single beat in the film. Looking back, he's joked that the cast heard their own song so many times during training that they got sick of it faster than any audience ever would.
Is that the Corvettes or the Corvettes?
No, Corvettes, like the car.
Well, see, I was thinking like the Chordvettes, like chords in our music.
Number 15. Steve Zahn's manager told him to drive into Manhattan for a script reading and gave him a fake name for the writer, framing it as a low-stakes favor. This writer wrote this movie, and they just want to hear it. Zahn assumed it was some unknown. He walked in expecting nothing and saw Tom Hanks sitting there. Hanks was floored by the red. He later said Zahn delivered the performance of the ages and made him laugh his head off. Casting director Meredith Tucker already had her eye on him from a play he'd done with Ethan Hawke's theater company, and she knew exactly what he could do with the role. Zahn locked down the part of Lenny before he'd even fully processed whose movie he had just walked into.
No, I'm talking about America's own Wonderful Wonders. Say hello, fellas.
Hi. How you doing?
And here's their hit.
Number 14. Hanks buried his love of space and music inside the cast's names. James Jimmy Mattingly is named after astronaut Ken Mattingly, who was supposed to fly on Apollo 13, but got pulled at the last minute over rubella exposure, even though he never actually got sick. Leonard Lenny Hayes takes his name from Fred Hayes, the real Apollo 13 lunar module pilot. Hanks even wrote himself into the joke. His own character, Mr. Amos White, is named after Andy White, the session drummer who filled in for Ringo Starr on the Beatles' recording of Love Me Do. During the Hollywood television showcase sequence, there's a minor character named Gus Grissom, another direct Apollo astronaut reference, played by a young Bryan Cranston. Hanks layered an entire space program inside a fictional 60s rock band, and almost none of it is ever explained on screen.
You are so great. You are. You're a great gal.
Really? I'm a great gal?
Yup, you are. You're a great gal.
Number 13. The lounge tune that opens the film, Lovin' You Lots and Lots, was written entirely by Hanks himself and credited to a fictional act called the Norm Wooster Singers, also his invention. It's a direct send-up of early 60s AM adult radio, drawing on the soft orchestral style of Ray Conniff and Mitch Miller that stations like LA's KPOL leaned on constantly at the time. Hanks also wrote Guy's unhinged jazz drum solo, titled I Am Spartacus. That means the man who had just won his second Best Actor Oscar for Forrest Gump composed 2 original pieces of music for his first ever film as director and barely mentioned it publicly. Even Movie Phone once flagged the disconnect directly. Most fans know Hanks wrote and directed this film, but did they know he wrote some of the music too? Number 12. Every single piece of music in That Thing You Do was written new in the mid-1990s. Hanks deliberately avoided licensing real period tracks for 2 reasons. Actual Beatles-era hits would have been enormously expensive, and he had just spent Forrest Gump soaked in iconic needle drops like Fortunate Son and California Dreamin'. This time, he wanted something built entirely from scratch. Writers like Adam Schlesinger and Rick Elias, alongside Hanks himself, composed an entire fictional discography for a film set in 1964 without reusing a single existing note. The soundtrack still managed to peak at number 21 on the Billboard 200, a fully invented 60s band outperforming actual period music on the modern charts.
So, Guy Patterson and the Wonders, come back and talk with us again real soon.
Number 11. During the Hollywood television showcase sequence, Bryan Cranston appears briefly as astronaut Gus Grissom, the second American in space. In 1996, Cranston was still a working television actor, known mostly for playing the dentist on Seinfeld. The cameo was tiny and easy to miss. It clearly wasn't missed by Hanks. 2 years later, Hanks cast Cranston as Buzz Aldrin in the HBO miniseries From the Earth to the Moon. Years after that, Cranston became globally famous, playing a character named Mr. White in Breaking Bad, which lands strangely, since Hanks' own character in this film is also named Mr. White. A tiny blink and miss cameo connects, almost by accident, to one of the most famous character names in television history.
Hey, boys, you ready?
No.
Number 10. The bass player has no first name, no last name, no real nickname anywhere in the film. Lenny tries calling him Tobias at one point, purely as a guess that's never confirmed. This was deliberate, a quiet joke about how musicians in one-hit wonder bands are often treated as interchangeable. His official credit is simply TB, player, short for the bass player, and even the fake liner notes on the soundtrack stick to the gag. Ethan Embry, who played him, finished filming on a Friday and was on the set of National Lampoon's Vegas Vacation just 2 days later, playing Rusty Griswold. He went from a character with no name at all to one of the most recognizable teenagers in American comedy in the span of a single weekend. Number 9. 2 years after the film released, Hanks and his Forrest Gump producing partner Gary Getzman turned the movie's fictional label, Playtone Records, into a real production company. They launched Playtone in 1998, taking the name directly from the made-up label inside their own movie. Since then, Playtone has produced From the Earth to the Moon, Band of Brothers, The Polar Express, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Charlie Wilson's War, Big Love, and The Pacific, alongside soundtrack work for The Sopranos and Bring It On. A throwaway fictional logo built for a 1,996 cult film became the engine behind one of the more respected production houses in modern Hollywood.
You know, we look like a bunch of chimpanzees.
No, we look like a rock and roll band playing a rock and roll song during Weekend at Party Pier.
Number 8. Colin Hanks made his film debut here at 18 years old, playing an NBC page who escorts Liv Tyler's character to her seat during the Hollywood television showcase scene, a moment expanded slightly in the 2007 extended edition. Elizabeth Hanks, Tom's daughter from his first marriage, has her own quick cameo as bored girl in Dress Shop. Rita Wilson, the same wife who fought to get Tom Everett Scott cast, plays Marguerite, a cocktail waitress at the Blue Spot Jazz Club, the location where Guy meets legendary musician Del Paxton. Colin Hanks went on to build a real career with roles in Orange County, Roswell, Dexter, Fargo, and Life in Pieces. His father's directorial debut turned out to be the starting line for an actual acting career, not just a family cameo.
And I'm loving you lots and lots. I'm just loving you lots and lots. I'm loving you lots and lots.
Number 7. One Halloween night in the early 90s, Hanks went trick-or-treating through Washington, D.C. with Sean Penn, Robin Wright, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. While walking the streets, Penn, fresh off directing The Indian Runner, told Hanks that every actor should direct at least once, just to feel how hard the job actually is. Hanks took it seriously. 2 years later, mid-press tour for Forrest Gump, he started writing the script that became this film. A piece of advice tossed off between houses on Halloween night ended up redirecting the entire second half of one of the most successful careers in modern Hollywood.
They're playing North Dakota this week.
No. I vote for Weekend at Party Pier.
Smart man.
Yeah, you should have told us about this Rick and Anita movie.
Number 6. The song, That Thing You Do, appears in 11 separate scenes across the film and somehow never feels stale. Jimmy first teaches it as a slow ballad in a garage. Guy reworks it into an upbeat pop rock arrangement for a talent contest. Later versions show up at a county fair, on national television, and even a deliberately rough rendition in Pittsburgh. Schlesinger had to write something that sounded authentically 1,964 while still landing with a mid-90s audience that was actively losing interest in grunge. He pulled it off completely. The song charted at number 41 on the Hot 122 on Adult Contemporary in Real Life. He's joked that writing for a band designed to sound like the Beatles was almost too easy. I could cut out the middleman. Number 5. Jonathan Demme, Hanks' director on Philadelphia and a Best Director Oscar winner for The Silence of the Lambs, produced this film after Hanks approached him personally once the script was finished. Demme joined alongside Gary Gutzman and Edward Saxon, and also appears briefly on screen as the director of the cheesy beach movie within the movie Weekend at Party Pier. Demme didn't come alone. Cinematographer Tak Fujimoto, whose credits include The Silence of the Lambs and The Sixth Sense, shot the film. Editor Richard Chu, who cut Star Wars and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, handled the assembly. Hanks' first ever film as director was, behind the scenes, staffed almost entirely by an A-list crew most first-time directors could never dream of accessing.
Here you are. Now sleep, no talking. We're winging our way to the coast. California.
Number 4. The Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles had hosted famous performers and 6 separate Oscar ceremonies across its history, and it was also the site of Robert F. Kennedy's assassination in 1968. By the time filming began in 1996, the hotel had been closed for years and was used almost exclusively as a movie location. Scenes, including the band's arrival after their song cracks the top 7, Faye and Guy's hallway conversations, and Jimmy's lobby exit from the band were all shot inside it. By 2005, the hotel was demolished and replaced by the Robert F. Kennedy Community Schools. The film also used the actual Price is Right studio stage for the Hollywood Television Showcase performance scenes, meaning the Wonders performed on the same soundstage as one of television's longest-running game, End shows. One of these 2 landmarks still exists today. The other only survives on film.
Is that Skitch Patterson?
Hey, morning, everybody.
Morning, Guy. Oh, here we are, Erie's lone beatnik.
Hey, Guy. Good morning.
Number 3. There was a pet iguana on set named Salvador who got sick during filming, and Ethan Embry, never one to hold back, tried to revive it with mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. A few hours later, he came down with severe dysentery, bad enough that the crew laid cardboard down from his trailer to the shower just so he could get cleaned up without making a mess of the set. He was wearing his red costume pants when it hit, and the pants did not survive the experience. Costume designer Colleen Atwood, a 4-time Academy Award winner, later said dryly that he wasn't the first actor in her career to have an accident like that in costume. Embry has owned the story completely, joking, "I'll be the first to admit I messed up, but yeah, I pooped the red pants." Even Hanks reportedly thought to himself in the moment, "You are 16, aren't you?"
If you want to buy one of our records, they're on sale.
I don't want to waste any more of your time. Would you step into my office, please?
Number 2. When Hanks released a 2007 extended edition, 39 minutes longer than the theatrical cut, it quietly revealed something the original film never touched. Mr. White, played by Hanks himself, is gay. His partner Lloyd is played by Howie Long, the NFL Hall of Famer and Fox Sports analyst, cast in a role nobody saw coming. The added scene shows Guy returning to the hotel after drinking too much, finding White and Lloyd together waiting on news about the band's TV appearance. It reframes a character audiences had already spent 90 minutes with. The scene never appeared in theaters at all. It exists only in the extended home video cut, and Hanks never promoted it. For years, almost nobody outside dedicated fans knew it existed. Number 1. That Thing You Do opened to genuine disappointment. It earned roughly $25.8 million domestically and $8.7 million internationally, about $34.6 million worldwide, against a $26 million budget. For a Tom Hanks project, producer Edward Saxon admitted plainly, it seemed to just kind of fizzle a little bit. Some blamed the absence of Hanks as an on-screen lead. The film looked headed for quiet obscurity. Then VH1 ran it non-stop for 24 straight hours in the late 90s, and something shifted permanently. Actor Jonathan Chaich later said it had a life like nobody's businesses after that. Fans kept rediscovering it through DVD and cable reruns, and it slowly transformed into a genuine cult classic. The cast reunited in 2017 to perform the title song live. By 2021, fans were celebrating it at baseball games with Chaich, Tom Everett, Scott, and Steve Zahn all showing up in person. A box office disappointment became a film people still organize reunions around 25 years later because one cable network decided to play it on a loop.
From Mr. Pouty to this, I don't think so, Guy. You won't remember much of this conversation, so check with the hotel operator in the morning. She has all the information.
20 facts about That Thing You Do. The secret boyfriend scene, the nameless bass player, the iguana incident, and the flop that VH1 turned into a cult classic. If any of these surprised you, drop it in the comments. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.